How do you successfully make the transition from high-performing seller to successful sales manager or sales leader? It's a question that I'm often asked, and I've got to tell you that I see a lot of people that really struggle to make the transition. Let me just share a few things with you about why I think that's the case. The first thing is, if you're an individual salesperson, often the reason that you're successful is you're highly motivated and driven, but it's typically around self. It's really about you making quota, you being the number one rep, you making all of the commission, you being successful. Selling can be a brutally tough profession, and you need to be highly driven to achieve success. The very best sellers, especially as they transition into complex corporate and enterprise selling, actually become much better at engineering the customer's buying process and aligning with their selling process. They actually become very good at building a virtual team internally, or even if they sell through channels with their partners. And they learn to rally support and get people on board based on positive influence, because obviously those people don't directly report to them, and you as a seller are often competing for those resources. So good sellers can start to make that transition of being self-centered to team-centered in their role as they move up in the type of selling they're doing in their career. But if you get promoted from salesperson to sales manager, you actually need an incredible shift in your own mindset. You need to move away from being more intuitive. You need to move away from just being a warrior in what you do to instead be an engineer. And often the things that you are doing as a seller that you regarded as time wasting or annoying overhead, like putting lots of data into a CRM or doing complex deal reviews for others to review, to validate, providing resources for opportunity pursuit. You may have felt a lot of the time that those things were a little bit of a waste of your time and effort because you had the deal covered. I think what you'll find, and if you're honest with yourself, you'll agree with this, that the truth is you often uncover weaknesses that you didn't realize that were there as you engage in that overhead. But nevertheless, as you move from seller to sales manager, those things that were once regarded as overhead become essential data for you to be able to analyze and build an effective sales machine. So when you become a sales manager, moving over from being an individual contributor, it all becomes about process, and it all becomes about the success of team rather than yourself. And as a sales leader, the thing you really need to focus on is communicating positive intent to the people that you lead. And what I mean by that is you need to convey that your intent is to help them be the very best that they can be, that you want them to thrive in their role. You want to de-stress the process for them of hitting their number. It's why you want to help them and hold them to account to building effective pipeline and also running good disciplined sales process where they really do cover all of the bases. The intent you want to cover is that you're doing all of this to help them be successful. It's all about their success, their stress levels, their commission checks, them achieving quota club, them being the hero. You do not want to convey ever that it's about you making the forecast for your boss. Never look like you're a sales manager with a forecast in one hand and a blowtorch in the other. Make sure the intent is that you love your people, you care about them, and you want them to be successful and thrive. So that's really some of the key things that you need to be aware of as you make a successful transition from individual contributor to sales leader.